guys, it is Dan from Momentum Strength and Wellness, and today I want to talk about what I think is probably the biggest factor that you're missing on your fitness journey, and that's visualization. And this might sound crazy to you, but getting in shape and creating the body of your dreams is a mental process, first and foremost. Yeah, there's gonna be some physical things that you need to do along the way. You're gonna need to exercise, you're gonna need to eat right, you're gonna need to live a healthy lifestyle. But that stuff is all irrelevant if you don't have a clear vision of who it is that you want to become. Over the years, working with clients and just being around the gym and around the fitness industry, I've noticed that the people that don't accomplish their goals are the ones that have what I call soft goals. The people that are like, I want to get in a little better shape. I want to lose some fat. I want to build a little bit of muscle. They don't really get that far because they don't have that clear image of exactly who they want to become and what they want to accomplish. Thoughts become things. I mean, think about it. There is nothing in the history of the world that has ever existed that wasn't first a thought. Every invention, every building, every creation was first thought about, and then it was made. That's just the way that the world works, and your body is no different. The image that you hold in your mind of who you are and what you look like is what is projected out as your physical body. It doesn't happen the other way around. We create with our thoughts and with our words. That's why this process has been talked about for thousands of years. From Jesus to Michael Jordan, every successful person has talked about the visualization process. It's what makes people stand apart, even at the highest levels. Like I said, Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player who ever lived. But the trajectory of his career changed dramatically when he met Phil Jackson and started learning about mindfulness and meditation. And he's famous for talking about his process of visualization. Jack Nicklaus is one of the greatest golfers to ever live. And he says he wouldn't even take a shot in practice if he didn't first have a clear, exact image of where the ball was going to go. Michael Phelps was the same thing. Michael Phelps is the greatest swimmer to ever live. And what set him apart, even at the highest level of competition in the Olympics, was his attention to detail and visualization. He would visualize every race, every stroke of every race, exactly the way he wanted it to go, down to the smallest detail. And then when he was under the bright lights in the biggest stage, it would play out exactly the way that he had imagined and visualized it every morning and every night, over and over and over again. When we talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger, like we're talking about getting in shape and creating a body, this is exactly what Arnold Schwarzenegger did to build his body. That is arguably the greatest physique in the history of bodybuilding. When he was young, when he was 15 or 16, he saw Reg Park win Mr. Olympia. And from that moment on, he had a vision of himself looking like that and standing on that stage. And when everybody told him he was crazy, he just stuck to his vision. And he thought about exactly what he was going to look like and what it was going to feel like on the stage winning Mr. Olympia. And he did it like 7 times. And this brings us to probably the most important aspect of visualization. Because it's not enough just to have the image in mind, but you have to bring emotion into it. Emotion is how we lock this in. So if you're imagining yourself with the perfect body and you have this vision of yourself and you're looking in the mirror and you've got your jeans on or whatever it is you want to wear and you've got your shirt off and you look great, that's not the end. Now you have to really feel what it feels like. Look at yourself and be proud and be excited. Think about how good it's going to feel when you have that body. and then hold on to that feeling. Something else that helps a lot is to bring other people into your visualization. So maybe you can have this image of yourself at the beach, and you're meeting your friends at the beach, and they're all congratulating you on how amazing you look, and they're all, oh, you look so good. What have you been doing? What have you been eating? What's going on? What's changed? You look amazing. And thank them. Like, oh, thank you guys so much. I've been working hard. I've been training. I've been taking my health seriously. And have that be your image, that feeling. So you're emotionally invested. You're thinking about it in the future as if it's already there, and you have other people congratulating you and complimenting you, because that is going to lock it in so much more than just having the image in mind. This, I mentioned Jesus before, this is exactly what he taught 2,000 years ago. In the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus is quoted as saying, "Ask without hidden motive and be surrounded by your answer. Be enveloped by what you desire, that your gladness be full." You can say what you want about Jesus. I don't care. But you have to admit he was a great spiritual teacher, and there's a reason that we're talking about him 2,000 years later. And what he's saying right now is exactly what Arnold Schwarzenegger said worked for him. This is what Jack Nicklaus and Michael Phelps and Michael Jordan said, and all these great performers and all these people with amazing bodies and amazing health and fitness are saying the exact same thing. So I'll break it down a little bit so it makes sense, because the wording is a little bit strange. But to ask without hidden motive means that you can't subconsciously not believe it's going to happen. You can't just, oh, I just have this image. I'd love to look great and be in shape, but you know me, I'm always overweight and I'll probably just get fatter. That's not it. That's not it. You have to truly believe it. You can't have a hidden motive. It has to be this and this. I believe it, and it's going to happen. It's inevitable. I believe that I am going to look like this. And then he says to be surrounded by your answer. That's what I was just saying with the visualization being true. It's not, oh, someday I'm going to look like this. It's putting yourself in a position where it already happened and you can feel it. You are surrounded by your answer. People are coming up to you and congratulating you. People are asking you for health and fitness advice. And then he also says to be enveloped by your desire, and that your gladness be full. So to be enveloped by it, then you will be happy because you're going to get it. So to be enveloped, to be fully wrapped up in it. So this is to be emotionally tied to it and locked in to that visualization and fully believe that it's happening. So like I mentioned, Michael Phelps did early, he would do this every morning and every night. And I highly suggest you do the same. It takes a few minutes before you're falling asleep. Just picture yourself in this scene in the future, but you feel like it's happening now, where you look exactly the way you want to look, and other people are acknowledging that you look that way, and they're congratulating you, and they're asking for advice and all these things, because that is exactly the process for calling this manifestation into being. And I want to be really clear, this isn't all just anecdotal or spiritual or religious. This is also scientifically proven. There have been so many studies on the benefits of visualization, and it's been proven to help people improve skills, help people improve their health, their immune system, lower blood pressure, whatever it is. There's been studies and it's been proven. And this is because the brain doesn't know the difference between us actually doing something physically versus thinking about it. If, like I mentioned before, we're doing it visually in a precise way, where we're very clear, very repetitive, and emotionally connected to it. If we're bringing our emotions and our feelings into it, we're lighting up all those same spots in our brain that we would be by actually doing it. So if there's a study on somebody playing the piano versus somebody mentally rehearsing the piano in their mind, the people rehearsing mentally do actually get better. Same goes for shooting basketballs or shooting darts. Like, all these different skills have been proven and studied over and over that if you're doing it, You can actually improve the skill without physically doing it. If you're visualizing, you can improve the skill. And it usually works best when you do them both. So like I said, Michael Phelps before was visualizing every morning. He was visualizing every evening. But he was also practicing swimming during the day. It just makes sense. I mentioned in the beginning of the video, there's going to be physical things you do. You're going to be training hard. You're going to be eating right. But if you're not also visualizing, you're leaving a lot on the table. So if you want to get the best out of yourself, use the visualization practice. It's also, just so you know, been studied and proven that you can build muscle mass by visualizing without ever touching a weight. You can also reduce body fat without exercise or without dieting by thinking about losing weight. If you're really truly believing in it, if you're putting yourself in that scenario where it already played out and you were already successful, if you have that image in your mind, the world is going to have to create it. So no matter what, I recommend creating a visualization practice. Try doing this. Like if it doesn't work, what's the worst thing that happened? It didn't work. But I promise you, if you can do this right and you can do this over and over, you're gonna see the results because this is the way that the world works.